Hey guys, welcome to the Double A podcast, aka DAP. We are a new fantasy football podcast, and just two guys love talking about football. Today we're going to be talking about the top 10 running back rankings. This is a little early. It's coming out early June, so hopefully we'll get some good predictions here for you.
Yeah, hopefully. That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah, probably going to be wrong. Nothing goes as planned.
You know, it is June, though.
It's June.
It's okay. Well, even though it's early, it could be spot on. We don't want to tinker with it that much. That's why we're waiting until August.
Hopefully nobody gets hurt. Knock on wood.
That'd be great. That'd be really great. Well, I guess we'll just get right into it then.
Yeah, sounds good. Today, we're discussing top 10 running backs for the upcoming 2017 season. So, my number one, David Johnson.
Yeah.
Is that who you got?
Yeah, that's
all right. Cool.
Why do you have David Johnson, Adam?
Well, first off, a little salty. He didn't win Player of the Year. Granted, Elliott's pretty good, but he had more all-purpose yards and less attempts, which I find to be more impressive. But he has less of an offense with a deteriorating arm of Carson Palmer. In many games, he carried the whole Cardinals team. One game, he had 3 touchdowns and gave them the win, which is a nightmare to play against on fantasy.
That was like the Jets game, wasn't it? I think so.
Something like that.
Because I watched his highlights the other day.
He's just overall beast. Has to be number one. The Cardinals did nothing to secure more wide receivers or a backup in Carson Palmer. So David Johnson's going to be the fantasy point holder for that team.
It says on here, David Johnson had 367.8 points in our league, like half PPR league, which leads, I think it was Elliott was number 2, who Elliott had I got it right here. He had 3-something. Johnson led Elliott by over 40 points in fantasy, which is quite a bit. And Zeke was the second in points per game by a whole point. So I think David Johnson is way ahead of everybody because he had 300 rushing attempts, which...
Yeah, I think the actual number was 322. It's insane.
That's Zeke.
Even though he averages like 5.
Zeke had 322 and David Johnson had 293.
Okay.
And the thing I think David Johnson is... It's just not even close to everybody else is because he also led in targets and passing by a huge amount. He had 120, and I think the next guy was like 80-something, which was Le'Veon. So I think it's crazy. Le'Veon had 94, and David Johnson had 80 receptions for 879 and 4 touchdowns. And I looked at every category on fantasy data, and he was top 5 in everything. So I think it's pretty obvious.
Unanimous number 1.
Unanimous. There's not much to talk about.
Who you got number 2?
Le'Veon Bell.
Oh, man.
Who do you have?
Oh, Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah. I think it's easy.
Yeah,
he finished 3rd in fantasy, and he missed the first 3 games, which is crazy.
I just about bumped him down to 3.
Really?
Because of the number of playmakers on the Steelers' offense. Obviously,
that's true.
He won't get the ball every play with Antonio Brown. You got Martavis Bryant coming back, although I think he's suspended for the first few games.
Yeah, I think Le'Veon's better than David Johnson, but fantasy-wise, I think it's obvious David Johnson because he is the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. But yeah, Le'Veon averaged 20 points, so did David Johnson. I think he was by 0.4. Not a big deal. But he finished with 1,287 rushing yards, 7 touchdowns, which David Johnson had finished with 16, but Le'Veon missed 3 games. And they don't use Le'Veon in the red zone, which I think sucks. Because they just throw quick slants to Antonio and Martavius this year. And he only had 75 receptions for 616, but he was targeted 94. So yeah, I think he's the best number 2 option here. I would take him number 2, easy. Wouldn't even think about it.
Yeah, no doubt.
This is half point. I have him in. But yeah, the red zone, he only had 34 attempts. David Johnson had, I think, like 50-some.
He's a hoss.
Who, Le'Veon?
David, he's hoss, man. He's beef.
David's the big tuna.
So, number 3.
Ezekiel Elliott.
Gotta be.
I think that's everybody on the planet that has a fantasy account. That's got to be the top 3. It's obvious. Zeke, he has that offensive line. That's
They did lose
a house.
They did lose a couple, I think.
Well, yeah, one retired.
Sure. I
didn't
think Doug Free, didn't he retire?
he? Yeah, he retired.
But that's just one.
That's just one though.
The only thing scary about Elliott is sophomore seasons.
That's true.
Sophomore seasons really scare me. Looking at Gurley his freshman year and then coming back his sophomore season, he was.
I don't have Gurley in my top 10.
Yeah. I looking at his rookie year, I thought I'd have him in my top 10, maybe top 5. But last year, I think he got a little over 800 yards rushing.
It would be tough to put him in my top 12.
Yeah.
I don't think I could do it.
But Elliott's in. I mean, Gurley plays for the Rams, so
Yeah,
that's obviously a
Zeke's in a way better situation.
yeah.
Way better.
So yeah, Zeke makes top 3. Interesting here, number 4.
Well, I got something to say. I wrote here the top 3 running backs. Top 3 running backs in points scored or touchdowns was Blunt, Johnson, and Elliott, and they played all 16. So I would suggest getting a very durable running back because all those played all 16, and the next ones didn't even get close in touchdowns, and they did not play 16. So, and Lev Bell and David Johnson in receptions were 1 and 2, and behind them were James White, Powell, and Theo Riddick. So if you have a number 1 back that can catch 2, I think that's why they're 1 and 2. There's nobody. That's why I didn't put Zeke in top 2 because of the receptions. That's it.
Yeah.
So you got number 4.
I thought about changing it, but number 4 I have Devontae Freeman.
Ooh, okay. Tell me about it.
The only bad thing is he's in the duo system with Coleman.
Yeah, that's true.
And I don't know. He's like David Johnson. He's the beefier back. He gets more red zone touches. Good thing. I think he found the end zone. 11 times last season, which is one of the highest totals among running backs, and over 1,000 yards. Super Bowl loss, humiliation. I think this next season is going to be about a revenge tour, and I think it starts with Freeman.
I like Devontae. Devontae's pretty good. I like how quick he is. He also had 60 targets in receptions, which really matters in PPR. 1,000-yard rusher. 227 attempts. He also played all 16. I like him. I like him at number 4, but I do not have him at number 4.
Who you got?
I have Shady, man. LaShawn McCoy finished 4th in half-point PPR scoring. Finished with 248. And I think what really helps him is he lost 2 of the backs that were behind him in Buffalo.
Yeah.
So he's going to get a lot of attempts.
Heck
Last year
yeah.
he had 234.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be around 290, 280 this year. And he had 1,200 yards, 58 targets, and he had 13 touchdowns, and 12 of them came by handoffs.
Yeah, I
Running
actually have him at 5.
Oh wow, I don't. Yeah, I like Shady. Shady's he can get it done in Buffalo.
Yeah, the reason I put him at 5 is staying healthy. He has a little bit of problems. He cuts a lot, so he has
he does.
ankle problems. So he misses half a game here or there.
He played 15 last year, which is way better than the previous years.
Yeah. So he's coming up. Impressive yards per carry with one of the highest I've seen, 5.4.
Oh wow.
I don't know how many attempts he had, but it's
He
actually
had running the ball.
yeah.
Shady had 234, 1,258 targets in passing.
Yeah, and like you said, when Mike Gillislee headed to where did he go?
New England.
Yeah, Patriots.
I have something to talk about him, but we'll wait.
Um,
We'll wait. But yeah, you have Devontae. I have Shady. Both about the same kind of running back.
Yeah.
Different sizes.
Definitely.
Who's your number 5?
McCoy.
Ooh, okay.
Yep.
4 or 5 range for Shady. We already talked about Shady.
I thought about switching those two, but ultimately just went with my gut.
I do like Devontae. I had him that 1 year. I do like him a lot. But Devontae is not my number 5.
Okay, gosh.
I have DeMarco Murray. He played all 16, 293 attempts, the same as David Johnson. He had more rushing yards than David Johnson. He rushed the same amount of yards per carry as David Johnson, but he only had 9 total touchdowns, which sucks.
But he did share backfield with Derrick Henry. Did Derrick Henry get the majority of red zone touches?
Yeah, it looks like
okay. That's one of the reasons why he wasn't in my top 5. Is I thought with Derrick Henry getting more experience under his belt that they would give him more red zone touches. Because now as the league is changing, we're seeing more duo systems than we have in years past. With back in the day, you just see Chris Johnson running for Tennessee, and
Patriots started that.
Yeah.
Patriots have 4 running backs. Yeah, but I like DeMarco. 67 targets, 3 touchdowns by pass, 15 points per game. Not a bad number 5. Like I said, after the top 3, it just kind of goes to a whole new tier.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to me. But yeah, I really like DeMarco in the Tennessee system. I feel like he's going to establish himself. I love him. But number 6, I do have Devontae.
You have Devontae number 6. All right, why you got him below the other 2?
Tevin Coleman.
Yeah.
That's why I have him at 6.
Okay.
Because the other 2 used to have a duo back system. But DeMarco does now, kind of. But I still like he's still going to be the number 5 running back in my opinion.
Yeah.
And Shady lost 2 guys behind him, and he had a 15-game season. And he established run game in Buffalo. Devontae established the running game in Atlanta, but Tevin Coleman's a big play guy. And I think Devontae's number 6. I just can't see him above DeMarco or Shady. We already named all the stats about Devontae.
Mm-hmm.
He played 16 games, like we said, 11 touchdowns, 65 targets. A little less than DeMarco, but I still like him. I think he could be a 5.
Yeah, okay. Well, never guess who I have at 6. DeMarco Murray.
Dang.
I actually can't believe the top 10s are this close. We've only had one out of place, and that's Devontae Freeman as far as sequence goes.
Well, the next 3 after the top 3 we all had.
Yeah.
7 through 10 is going to get a little testy.
Yep. But, I mean, the main reason Murray is that low for me is that, they haven't had this good of a running back since Chris Johnson and Eddie George. And he has taken the pressure off Mariota and allowed him to, thrive into this dual threat quarterback. But I think
I do like Mariota.
Derrick Henry will start taking some of the workload of him.
Tennessee's going to be good.
Yeah, Tennessee definitely a team to watch in the next 3 years.
Think they'll win a division this year? Colts, Jacksonville, Houston, and Tennessee?
Yeah.
Think so?
I don't know. Yeah, definitely top 2.
I think they'll make playoffs.
Top 2, definitely.
2. I think so.
Well, I mean, Jacksonville's not going to be there. The Colts haven't been.
I don't think the Colts are going to be good this year.
And
I like one player on the Colts.
Houston, who's quarterback for Houston?
It's going to be probably Watson, I'd say.
Oh, yeah, true. They drafted Watson. So, yeah.
I would say Watson. That'd be my guess.
So, we ready for number 7?
I am ready for number 7.
All right, here you go.
I like my number 7. I got Jordan Howard for the Chicago Bears. Dude was a 1,000-yard rusher his first season. Guess what he did, Adam?
What did he do?
Played all 16.
All about them 16s,
All
man.
about the 16. Durable running backs. He had 252 attempts. That's more than Shady and Devontae. Bears need a running back. 5 yards per carry. 6 touchdowns, which really hurt him. But the Bears were the Bears. They didn't score as much. 29 receptions, which is not good at all. I could do 29 receptions. And 298, 300 yards receiving. Only lost 2 fumbles, which I like. and he had over 200 fantasy points. I'm just a big fan of him. Dude's really shifty, powerful. He reminds me a lot of DeMarco Murray. No, sorry, Le'Veon Bell. I really like Jordan Howard at number 7. I almost had him at number 6, above Devontae. Just that's how much I like him.
Dang. Well, he's not close on mine. My 7's Jay Ajayi.
Ooh, I like Jay.
Mainly because, all right, so the Dolphins have not had that go-to running back since probably Ricky Williams. Lamar Miller was close.
You're probably right.
But he wasn't what Miami needed. So now
Lamar Miller in your top 10?
He is, yes.
Ooh, not in mine.
So I think Jay, he kind of came into the season. He was a good waiver pickup last year. I think in our league, I don't think anyone kept him. 16.
I have Jay in my top 10.
Yeah.
Actually, I have Jay at number 8. I'll go and tell you. Just how close we are.
But yeah, the back half of the season, he killed me on fantasy.
He had those 2 back-to-back weeks where he had over 200 yards rushing.
Yeah.
I forgot which games they were.
So I think the biggest thing is coming with consistency this season. I think Tannehill's definitely the quarterback they want at the helm, and I think Ajayi proved that he wants the job. And honestly, I can't think of a backup in Miami that could take the job from him.
Week 6 and Week 7, he had 204 and 214 rushing yards, both over 25 attempts. That's crazy.
So yeah, that's who I got.
No touchdowns. He needs to get in the end zone, man.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But yeah, I like Jay. I have him number 8. Just because he is the number 1. There's a few teams that have a number 1 instead of a duo system.
Yeah.
That's why I like Jay. He did not play all 16.
You got to take him out of the top 10, man.
No, I love him, though.
All right, so you got Jay at 8.
I have Jay at 8. He's another 1,000-yard rusher, 5 yards attempts per game, 8 touchdowns. If you get around over 8 touchdowns as a number 1 back, you're solid. And I'm probably gonna have you in my top 10, just because you can score in the end zone, you can catch the ball, over 40 targets. Not him, he had 35, but I like over 40 targets per game. Just an all-around back, number 1 back. I love him. But yeah, number 9.
No, hang on, I gotta give you my number 8.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Lamar Miller.
All right. Tell me about it. Tell me why I should have him top 10.
All right, so you can have this rookie quarterback. Granted, it's Deshaun Watson. And he's going to have DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah, DeAndre.
And who's the new wide receiver they just drafted?
Oh, yeah.
I can't remember. I think he's a big body receiver. He's dynamic. He's good.
Keep talking. I'll look it up.
But yeah, they're going to have a new system. Lamar Miller's going to be almost the most experienced fantasy point scorer in that offense. And last season, he rushed for over 1,000 yards. So this season, he's still got the backups as far as Alfred Blue and that. So I think it is considered a duo back system.
Yeah, you're thinking of the guy they drafted last year, dude from Notre Dame.
Oh yeah, they do have Will Fuller.
Will Fuller, that's his name. Yeah, I like Will.
Yeah. But yeah, I think Lamar Miller will really come out this year because Alfred Blue didn't get as many touches last year as years before.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I got Miller at 9, 8.
14 per game. 14 games this season. That's probably why he's not my top 10.
Probably why.
I like them 16 gamers, but I do like. If I had to rank Lamar, I'd probably have him at 11 for me.
Yeah.
I just like my next. I don't really like my number 9.
All right, on to number 9. I got Melvin Gordon.
I do too.
One of the things I really got here is just trust the process, and Melvin Gordon, hasn't broke 1,000 yards over any of the seasons so far.
What happened last season?
Yeah, last season he got hurt, I think, 2 games before the end of the season.
I was at the game.
You were at the game?
I was at the game when he got hurt.
Oh, man.
And I was playing the person that had Melvin Gordon. And I was unhappy and happy at the same time.
Yeah, 3 yards short from breaking 1,000, so I think with only Gordon and I think it's Brandon Oliver in the backfield, he should really take more of a workload this year. And hopefully if he stays healthy,
Yeah. Which He hasn't,
He hasn't. No.
but he's only played 2 seasons.
Yep.
So you can give him some leeway there. Yeah, like you said, not a 1,000-yard rusher, but he is the established number 1 back, which really helps. And he scored over 200 fantasy points. With the running back, it's pretty good.
Yeah, you can't complain with that.
On this, 11 running backs only scored over 200 points, and I got, I think, 8 of them in my top 10. The only ones I don't is Blunt and Ingram. And I had Ingram on my fantasy team last year.
Yeah, Ingram stock's going down with AP.
Yeah.
And Blunt's going to Philadelphia.
That's one
Ryan.
backfield I'm just not sure about. I haven't even looked. I haven't even thought about putting either one in my top 15. Just because I don't. And
Well, if I had to put Blunt on a number scale, it'd probably be 420.
yeah. That's a good one. Everything just flows with that. His last name,
Exactly.
ranked 420. I mean, it's just
Him and Johnny Manziel.
yeah, they're best friends. He's a Philly now.
Manziel?
No.
Oh.
Blunt.
I was about to lose my ish.
I don't know where Manziel is. I doubt he does either. But
Probably in a club.
probably. So we both established that number 9 is the right spot for Melvin Gordon. Making the move to LA, 254 attempts, which is actually not bad. Like I said, he's an established number 1 back. I really don't know who's behind him.
I think it's Brandon Oliver.
Yeah, I think it is too. I'm trying to remember.
Which, I mean, Oliver hadn't been anything serious since probably about, I think it was a year or 2 ago.
When
Melvin was down, yeah. So I think if Melvin
They
can...
had like 2 backs, and then both
Yeah.
of them got hurt, and Oliver was the one to go to. But yeah, I don't think they drafted anybody. They drafted Mike Williams with their first pick.
Wide out from Clemson.
Yeah, it's Brandon Oliver. Yeah, remember Kenneth Farrow?
Mm-hmm. He was
Did they have a lot?
he was he's
Their depth chart is Gordon, Oliver, Farrow, Kenyon Barner, and Andre Williams.
he should have no problem.
Yeah, he's fine. That's why I have my number 9. But moving to number 10, Adam Pressler. Who is your number 10 back? I am really interested.
I have a feeling you're gonna totally disagree with this.
Oh, God.
Jordan Howard.
Oh, no.
All right, I'll put him barely making it into the top 10.
Barely?
Barely.
Dude's a monster.
See, I just don't feel it. Like
Is it the Bears?
It's the Bears and the sophomore season.
That is true.
It's just something about sophomore seasons that really scares me.
Who else was having a sophomore season? You were Zeke.
Zeke, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, I mean, he had great stats. Jeremy Langford went down, so he gladly took over. But I don't know. I mean, it is Chicago. They don't have a passing game, which is good. I don't know if the Bears plan on starting Mitch Trubisky, but...
Well, they got I think they paid Mike Glennon too much. I don't like Mike Glennon. But that's for a different story.
Yeah, different story.
Different episode.
Yeah, I got him at 10. He had great stats, so I had to put him in the top 10.
Yeah.
But as far as confidence, it's probably around a 60% range on that.
That's not bad.
Who you got at 10?
I got Marshawn.
Okay.
Marshawn Lynch.
That's what I was debating with Jordan Howard.
I like the move with Marshawn.
The only thing that scares me is that Carr is such a good quarterback, and he has so many targets developing around him.
See, I thought about that, and he has a good receiving core. But
they've never had a running back like Marshawn Lynch.
No. But Lat Murray is not that good of a running back.
Agreed.
And he played well in Oakland. I think
if Marshawn Lynch is still in good condition, which I believe he is.
Latavius Murray last year was top 10 in red zone attempts. If you give that to Marshawn...
Well, that makes sense because the Raiders don't really have a big body receiver to throw to, so they kind of got to
I think he's going to make his money off red zone targets. Just like Lat Murray had 77 points in the red zone last year. But the leading was David Johnson, of course. 130, which is God level. But yeah, I'm putting my money on Marshawn to win the backfield race because they really don't have anybody behind him. And
True.
he's just Marshawn Lynch. I really think I'll move him up by August. I just can't right now because I don't. know what's
Yeah.
happening.
We should do a maybe beginning season then mid season.
Yeah. Redraft.
Yeah.
I would. I just have Marshawn at 10, not 10, not 12. 10. I don't have really any stats because it's a whole different offense.
Yeah, whole different offense.
But
He
I
took
just-
a year off.
I just like the move. That's what scared me too, is a year off.
Yeah,
Not
hopefully
many
didn't eat
people-
too many Skittles.
Yeah. Not many people can take a year off, but I think Marshawn can do it. That's my top 10.
Yeah, so not many differences really.
Johnson, Bell, Elliott, McCoy, Murray, Freeman, Howard, Ajayi, Gordon, and Moneyman Lynch.
So we really just disagree on Howard and Freeman,
Yeah.
and I put Miller in there.
You had
but
Ajayi at 8?
I had him at 7, Miller at 8.
Oh, yeah. I didn't have Miller in there.
Yeah.
But like I said, I'd probably have him at 11. But yeah. So, people that are not in your top 10 that could be sleepers for you, Adam. I have 2.
You have 2.
I have 2.
Okay, well I'll throw out one. It's not one of the 2 I did a lot of research on, but it's Theo Riddick. We mentioned him earlier.
Yeah.
Detroit has not had a primary back for probably about 4 years. With is it Joik Bell? Was that his
Joik.
name?
Yes.
Yeah.
Made cash for me on Thanksgiving Day that one year.
But yeah, he went down, and then they drafted Amir Abdullah. I think he was from Nebraska, and
Yeah.
he's got some fumbling issues. And Theo Riddick is really like Darren Sproles or Danny Woodhead, really good PPR back, and honestly, he gets a lot more red zone touches than I thought he would. That could have came from all the injuries, but I think they were missing him in the playoff game too. They were stuck with like the 4th string back, Mike Zimmer.
I'll
Not
back
Mike
you up
Zimmer.
on that. I like Theo because I had him on a fantasy team last year, and he killed people in PPR.
Yeah.
And
He's a solid gem to find.
he's really just great.
All right, you want my number 1 sleeper or the number 2?
I'll take both. Hand it to me. I'll give you both mine.
All right, number 1, I got Rob Kelly,
Rob Kelly.
Redskins.
I thought about him.
I did a lot of research, and he's not high up on anyone's really poll, which really surprises me because as far as I know, it's him and Chris Thompson for
They drafted Samaje Perine from
Oklahoma.
but he's still a rookie.
Yeah, but Kelly killed it. He only started, I think, the back half of the season. He didn't really start getting touches,
Yeah.
and the Redskins do have limited cap, so they can't really sign anyone in free agency or pick up anyone.
It looks like
that-
Rob starting week 8
Yeah.
against Cincinnati. So yeah, back half of the season. You're right about that.
And in an interview, he actually said he cut his body fat percentage from 18 to 13%. So I mean, he's beefing up. I think he'll be a lot like Marshawn Lynch, actually.
Really?
I think so because he can cut, he can juke.
I like Rob.
So that's my number 1.
You know what he did?
Hmm?
Do you know what he did?
What'd he do?
Played all 16. I like him.
Ah.
I like mine. But yeah, mine are different. Mine are 2 different running backs. My number 1 sleeper is, I think his name, let me find it. Mike Gillislee.
Yep.
Made the move to New England. Very good. I think he...
You think he'll emerge even with
Oh, yeah.
James White and Deion Lewis?
Absolutely. I think the Patriots will move on from Deion Lewis and just keep James White from his playoff performances. Plus, Deion's been hurt the past 2 seasons.
Yeah.
I think they'll move on. Gillislee will take the blunt role. You see what I did there?
Hey.
No, I didn't mean to do that either. But, yeah, he'll do what Blunt did, but better, I think, because he's more elusive. I just like Mike Gillislee. Played all 15. Not all 15. Played 15 games behind Shady last season. Shady was out for a couple of games. Mike played great. That's just saying he could be a number one back anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and what I hated when he played is Buffalo was scared to give him the ball. But when he got the ball, he did extremely well. I really like him. And my number 2 sleeper is not biased, but I have McCaffrey.
Okay.
Run CMC, man. I think the Panthers have not had a back like this in years. Elusive back that can
Okay.
get
Yeah.
screens. Now, in a standard league, I don't know if he'd be my sleeper. Just because he would be catching the ball and you wouldn't be getting any points for it. You just get the yards. But in a PPR, I think he can get 7 catches a game for 100. Not every game, and a touchdown or 2. I think he can do it. I think he'll be top 15 back. In my opinion, he's going to be like a Theo or a
Coming
James
from a
White.
Panthers fan.
Hey, like I said, it's not biased though. I've
Yeah.
heard many people say he could do it. I think Matthew Berry from ESPN and the Fantasy Footballers have him in their top 15. I don't know if I'd have him in mine just yet.
Yeah. I'd have to see preseason
Yeah,
before I did that, but definitely.
but that's like Todd Gurley. I just can't.
Nope.
I just can't. He's one of the names I've looked at for my top 10. I just could not do it.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I just don't think he's that good, to be honest. I'm not trying to rag on him, but I like him too. I just can't do it. I mean, he had just as many attempts as David Johnson. No, he didn't.
But
Just
yeah,
as many
good
attempts
God.
as Lev Bell,
Okay.
and did not get 1,000. Not even 900. I just
Yeah.
can't do it, man.
All
But
right.
yeah,
Sleeper 2 for me is he kind of plays the same role as Mike. Jaquiz Rogers
oh, okay.
for the Bucks. Bucks are really struggling with Doug Martin right now.
Yeah, they are.
He is suspended for the first 3 games for PEDs.
I forgot.
So Jaquiz is a solid pickup for the first 3 weeks at least.
At least he's like D'Angelo last year.
Yeah. I mean, and it could be a Langford-Howard situation where Doug Martin sits out, these 3 weeks and Jaquiz kills it and earns a starting spot. But, I mean, you do have to worry about Charles Sims, which is very much like a utility back.
Yeah.
But I think Jaquiz would ultimately get more goal line touches. So that's really why I went with Jaquiz.
Jaquiz played good last season.
Yeah.
Even with Doug Martin in, but when Doug Martin was out, he played great. I'm a fan of him. I'm not a fan of some people, but I'm more of a fan of a lot of people. If that makes sense. I don't like Forte. I don't like Jeremy Hill.
Okay, I do not like the Bengals running back system.
I don't like the Bengals team.
Why did they take Mixon when they have Hill and Giovanni Bernard? I mean, them two were good enough on their own. I mean, I don't know what happened this season, but Jeremy Hill was really just on point his rookie season, and then I don't know, their backfield's just struggling right now.
I like Giovanni too. Giovanni's like that James White, but better. They just need to go with those 2 running backs and make Hill the every down back.
Yeah.
Giovanni third down. I like it.
As far as Forte, I like Forte in the system he's in. As far as them using him the right way, I don't think they're doing that.
It's bad because he's a number 1 back, and I don't like him.
It'd be like, I don't know. Let me think of a good example. AP going to the Browns.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I'm not gonna say that because the Browns actually have a pretty good offensive line. AP to the Rams.
Yeah. You see, the thing is, with Forte, I like the guy behind him better.
Bilal Powell.
Yeah, I can't say his first name.
Yeah.
Bilal Powell. But yeah, I like him.
Powell's
for
a
PPR.
beast, dude. He's a freaking workhorse.
I about had him as a sleeper, but I like
You
the 2
should
guys.
have.
Okay, Bilal Powell is one of my sleepers.
All
There you
right.
go.
You heard it here first.
I will. So now I have 3. I really like him though.
Liddy.
He's awesome. And he plays for the Jets. That's crazy. But yeah.
So here's the preseason top 10 running backs. Maybe after we see the first two weeks of preseason, we'll review it
2017.
and kick out a new list.
Beginning of August. Mid-August, maybe.
Hopefully we'll see some rooks on here.
That'd be nice.
I'd love to put Leonard Fournette on here. I'd love
in
to.
top 15? Or top 10?
In top 15, yeah.
We'll do a top 15 in August.
Or we'll do like top 5 rookies, offensive rookies.
Fournette, number 1. No, offensive. Ooh.
Yeah. You got to throw a
Okay.
wrench at because there's so many running backs that aren't going to get touches. Number 1, Mixon. JK, we do not support his actions.
No, I don't. I don't like Mixon. I hope you. I'm not going to say that. Never mind. All right. Well, that is our early running back rankings. We'll be back with the receiver rankings in a couple of days. Top 15 with a couple sleepers. Looking forward to it.
Stay classy.
Hey guys, thanks for listening to the Double A Fantasy Football Podcast. Make sure you follow us on everything, and I mean literally everything. Follow us on Twitter at the Double AA Podcast. Like us on Facebook and also give us a follow on SoundCloud, where you can stream all of our previous podcasts. Thank you so much.